I want to personally thank all the people who marched around with picket signs Saturday for the No Kings protest. Here it is Monday, 2 days later, and we still don't have a king. I think they prevented any kings from taking over. So they did it. Good job, No Kings, because there's no king yet. Golly, what a weekend, huh? What a weekend. They, if you haven't heard, they got the man they say murdered that Minnesota lawmaker in cold blood early Saturday. Guy looks just like he looked in all the pictures. He reportedly crawled out on his belly out of the woods when the police surrounded him. Great work by law enforcement. I'm glad they captured him, obviously. And now maybe we'll get some answers to this bizarre story. Nothing about this story makes a whole lot of sense. The bad guy's wife, the alleged bad guy's wife, stopped with passports and cash. This guy was married with 5 kids but had 2 roommates. And one of the roommates, I don't even want to play the roommate for you. It's too bizarre to even comprehend. None of it makes any sense. None of it's making any sense. But that is going on in Minnesota. We continue to pray for the people of Minnesota. The Wall Street Journal is reporting that Iran is now seeking talks with Israel and the United States. So perhaps Iran is crying uncle. Maybe, just maybe, righteousness will prevail here in this war between Israel and Iran. Their top leadership has been apparently decimated. They've been taken out. You don't want World War III. Well, you don't want Iran to have a nuclear weapon. And I can't think of a better time, considering the world's unrest, than a military parade to celebrate the 250th anniversary of the U.S. Army. It was magnificent, and it was even better than expected. In fact, even the loonies over on MSNBC were sort of surprised. Well, it doesn't appear to have been all about Donald Trump. It looked like it was a, celebration of the military and the Army. It was also supposed to rain. You know, remember when Tim Walz the other day, before this catastrophe hit his state, said he's never prayed for rain more than was praying for rain to ruin the military parade, which is a nasty, vicious, hateful thing for him to say. A guy who says a lot of nasty, vicious, hateful things. Now all of a sudden he wants to, everybody to respect others' humanity. Well, maybe he's going to have a change of heart and tone down his rhetoric. Trump joked about the weather forecast because, as President Trump himself observed, the weatherman predicted a 100% chance for rain.
Last night was a tremendous success with a fantastic audience. It was supposed to rain. They gave it a 100% chance of rain, and it didn't rain at all. It was beautiful. And so I asked, if they gave it 100% chance, right? 100% it was going to rain like crazy, and it didn't rain at all. How did they predict 100 years out and 50 years out or 200 years out? They didn't do too well, the weather people, last night, but it was beautiful.
He asks a good question. They're going to tell us what the weather's going to be like 50 years from now, 100 years from now, all the global warming, climate change crazies and fanatics, but they can't get a forecast. Look, here in Tampa Bay, it was supposed to be sunny and clear all day today. Raining this morning. It's like, whoops, wasn't supposed to rain. They don't know. But what we do know, and what we should know, is to honor and respect our military, to have patriotism and a celebration for the 250th anniversary of the U.S. Army is a good thing. And as President Trump pointed out Saturday, every other country celebrates their armed forces. Why shouldn't we?
Thank you to Vice President Vance, and thank you to our wonderful First Lady. And above all, thank you to the greatest, fiercest, and bravest fighting force ever to stride the face of this earth, the United States Army. Thank you very much. Because the Army keeps us free, you make us strong, and tonight you have made all Americans very proud. They're watching from all over the world, actually. Made them all very proud. Every other country celebrates their victories. It's about time America did too. That's what we're doing tonight. And watching this magnificent display, our souls are filled with gratitude for every generation of warriors who have worn the uniform all the way back to the very beginning. So to every veteran across our land and right here in our nation's capital, including 6 recipients of the Congressional Medal of Honor, we love you, we honor you, and we salute your noble service to our flag and to our country. As we celebrate tonight, we also think of the hundreds of thousands of Army soldiers who have made the supreme sacrifice for our nation and selflessly laid down their lives in every war, from the Revolution to the War on Terror. To the Gold Star families with us today, the courage of your heroes is the bedrock on which our entire nation stands. We thank you.
This is just amazing. I was watching this thing all day, and I thought, my gosh, for anybody to criticize this, you got to be looking for reasons to find fault with the Trump administration. Rand Paul was allegedly uninvited from the White House picnic. I don't know what that's all about. I don't care. I'm sure Senator Rand Paul can get over it. But evidently he's miffed at the Trump administration. Maybe that's why he ran to NBC News and complained about this glorious, patriotic, spectacular military parade on Saturday in our nation's capital. Maybe you agree with Senator Paul on this. I always think of Rand Paul. Some of these guys, there's good Rand Paul, there's bad Rand Paul. There's a lot of good things he stands for, a lot of good things he represents, and I think a lot of us agree with him on many things. I sure don't agree with him on this.
Could the parade have that benefit of encouraging people to sign up and enlist?
You know, I'm all for the president appearing and doing enlistment ceremonies at military bases. I've been with the president at Dover to receive home our dead soldiers, and so those who have been killed in action, and to mourn their loss. But I just never liked the idea of the parade, because I grew up in the 70s and 80s, and the only parades I can remember are Soviet parades for the most part, or North Korean parades. And the parades I remember from our history were different. You know, everybody remembers that famous scene of the soldier, you know, dipping the girl and kissing the girl in New York in a ticker tape parade. But we were rejoicing the end of war, and we were rejoicing our soldiers coming home. And that absolutely ought to be commemorated and discussed every year, Memorial Day, Veterans Day. But we never glorified weapons so much. And I know he means well. I don't think he means for any of this to be depicted in another fashion, but I'm just not a big fan. And then there is the cost. I mean, we're $2 trillion in the hole, and just an additional cost like this, I'm not for it.
Oh, brother. All right. Well, let me open it up to you. 800-655-MIKE, 16 past the hour. We got a lot of breaking news to cover for you, what to make of it all. It is a busy, busy day here on the Mike Gallagher Show in the Relief Factor studios. Do you agree with Rand Paul? You're not a fan of a parade that honors our United States Armed Forces, specifically our Army? Are you not a fan? Does it remind you of the Soviet Union? Does it remind you of North Korea? Maybe, and you know, Rand Paul is a fiscal hawk. Maybe it's just the price tag he didn't like. But to take a pot shot at President Trump's effort to salute the military is just, to me, just kind of just disappointing. Very just disappointing. Real disappointed in him. Again, there's good Rand Paul, and there's bad Rand Paul. That was kind of the bad Rand Paul on NBC's Meet the Press. Let's see if you agree or not.